Well, Chris Harrison was right. This season of The Bachelor was, no doubt, one of the most dramatic and controversial ever. After breaking up with Becca, Ari proposed to Lauren on the After the Final Rose special. Now it's rumored that Ari and Lauren are going to get married soon and possibly on TV, which got us to thinking. After 22 seasons of The Bachelor, including mine, 13 of The Bachelorette, and even spin-offs, just how many couples from the show have stayed together and succeeded? Amy Kaufman literally wrote the book on Bachelor Nation, and she's here now to tell us. Amy, before we get to the success stories, let's start with this past season. Do you think Ari and Lauren, you think they're going to make it?
I don't know. Adversity will keep you together sometimes. I mean, they've been through a lot. I feel like they have a lot to prove, so they have a shot, but definitely a lot of people are not rooting for them.
Yeah, they definitely have been through a lot. Okay, Amy, let's start with our very first Bachelorette, Trista. She and Ryan Sutter met on the show. They got married in 2003. Why do you think Trista and Ryan have been able to make it last while so many other Bachelor couples have failed throughout the years?
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they live off the grid. You know, they don't live in New York or LA. They are in Vail, Colorado, and that's where Ryan lived before the show even started. And he still has the same job, working as a firefighter. So sort of, you know, sticking to your same morals and values instead of maybe jumping into the business.
Yeah, I feel like they're just real people. They didn't want to jet off to Hollywood and become actresses or superstars. They're just real, down-to-earth, solid people. Okay, the show, obviously, it's drastically changed since Trista's season. You think Trista could still have been successful if the show was on right now and formatted the way it is now?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the track record of the show, it's the Bachelorettes who are in the long-term relationships and not the Bachelors. You know, the last few Bachelorettes, Caitlyn, Rachel, JoJo, they're still with the guys they chose. So, you know, not to make any broad gender stereotypes, but the women seem to be doing all right.
Yeah, the men have struggled. Speaking of that, Jason Mesnick was the original Ari. He, of course, broke up with Melissa Rycroft to go back to his runner-up Molly. But they've actually been together for now over 10 years. How do you think the drama they went through, how did that help them in their relationship?
Right, well, that's what I was saying about, you know, Ari and Lauren potentially having a chance. I think Jason and Molly, he wasn't going to make that huge switch and embarrass himself and Melissa on television if he didn't know that he was confident in his feelings for Molly. So I think, you know, starting off right away, you realize someone has made a big sacrifice for me, and they're looking really bad in front of America, and so their feelings must be pretty real.
And it's interesting here statistically because Sean Lowe is actually the only Bachelor who is still with the woman that he proposed to. And him and Catherine, they got married on TV, and they're actually about to welcome their second child. What do you think makes their relationship work?
Again, I think they live in Texas, which is very helpful. Also, you know, I've talked to Sean a lot about for the book, and he said, he asked a lot of hard questions the night before he even was proposing. He asked the producers to go to her room so he could have a final chat with her about, like, you know, these are my religious values. Do you want to live your life this way? Do you want to raise your kids this way? He asked questions that were practical, you know, and I think that probably helped them in the end.
Well, we've seen some contestants find love on a lot of the spin-off shows like Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelor Winter Games. You think it's easier to develop relationships maybe on these spin-off type shows versus actually being on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette?
People have said that because, and I do get, you know, you're spending every day, all day together on those shows. And so even though there's like a kind of more of a hookup culture, I would say, on the spin-offs, you're getting to spend more time with them. I mean, you were a Bachelor, you know, you don't spend very much time with these finalists. It's like Juan Pablo tweeted it was around 40 hours he had spent with the women he ended up in the finals with. So maybe you have better odds, weirdly, on the beaches of Mexico.
I can agree with you. 4 to 5 dates before asking someone to marry you is definitely outside the box. It's tough. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Of course, her new book, Bachelor Nation, Inside the World of America's Favorite Guilty Pleasure. It's in stores now.